comes in at a svelte 252 tonight.
Well, he seems to come down a little bit with every fight, so he has been serious about his weight loss. Tonight he fights a guy that is bigger than him. We're usually watching him fight guys that are much smaller than he is, but Ruiz, you will see, if you haven't seen him before, while he isn't chiseled and he fights flat-footed, he is very quick-handed. I think he has two of the fastest hands in the heavyweight division, and people are shocked by his speed.
See him going to the body right there, working on Ken Franks. Ken Franks is a correctional officer up in Alberta, so he's got a tough job away from here. Took this fight on 5 days' notice, and give him credit, he's here.
Yeah, well, it's like he said, I had a choice. Sure, it was 5 days' notice, but it was either spend the night in jail with a bunch of prisoners or go out on the river and
hang out
in Arizona on a beautiful night.
Up top, Ruiz really showing some speed there, Rich.
Yes, Frank trying to box and trying to use his own jab, but Ruiz trying to get by that jab and then unload with that speed of hand that he has. Andy Ruiz is a very intriguing prospect, I would say, Alan. He's a kid who fights very well. He's got good power, although he's finding the guys a little harder to knock out than he did early in his career. There's that speed of hand. Look how quick he unloads those punches.
8-punch combination upstairs. Ken Franks said he was going to try to box this kid, but unless you've got a really, really hard jab, which Ken doesn't have, Andy's going to get on top of you and fast. And as Rich was saying, you just saw the witness of the speed. And there's a lot behind that speed, too, when you're talking about 254 pounds behind him.
He's working with Miguel Diaz in the corner tonight. He has worked a lot with Freddie Roach at the Wildcard Gym, but now he's working out in training in Las Vegas and getting a little bit more concentrated training with Miguel Diaz, although he has not cut connection with Freddie Roach. But Freddie's a little busy these days with some rather big-name stars.
Well, he has the mantle right now of trying to become the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. He has trained with a young fighter who was trying to do that as a Mexican heritage. Oh, there's the upstairs slapping around right there. The hook's coming fast and furious. I was going to say he sparred with Chris Arreola out of Riverside, and he's also been in the ring in L.A. with Evander Holyfield, which could teach him a thing or two. I tell you what, he's headhunting, Rich.
Well, one thing that he does is he takes his opponents by surprise. As he put it today, and these are his words, guys look over at him from the other corner, and they see this chubby guy who they just feel obviously is going to be a... Yes, well, and look, of all places we discovered him in Thackerville, Oklahoma, for his 5th professional fight.
Well, we liked him, huh?
A stirring battle and a knockout. This is a kid. He may weigh 262 pounds, but you're going to be surprised by his hand speed, which is just tremendous. And
yeah, he looked very impressive to us. And again, just starting at 6-0 against the 2-4 Francisco Diaz, who is in all black. Diaz boxing off the back foot now. Look at that hook from Ruiz. We'll see if he starts to let his hands go, but he's walking down Diaz nicely.
Diaz may have seen that telecast because he's moving away and trying to stay away from the power of Andy Ruiz.
Ruiz with a nice tight guard comes in. He's got a good sense of range. There's the hook followed right hand hook. So a 3-punch combination from a heavyweight. It's always a pleasure to see. There's 2 of them as he really lets his hands fly. Left hook, right cross.
Well, what I want to see is that right hand of Ruiz that's going to eventually catch Diaz. Because every time he throws that jab, his hand comes down towards his waistline or towards his chest.
There it is, another combination from Ruiz.
Who is, by the way, getting excellent tutelage at where else? The Wildcard Gym, Hollywood, California. That's become, I think, the most famous gym in the world now.
Absolutely, yes.
You may have seen Freddie Roach in his corner.
How does Freddie have time for all these guys, huh? Because he lives it. Oh, nice exchange, and it was Ruiz punching first and last, and he clocks Diaz. Diaz is moving backwards. He gets clipped with a right hand now, and he's back against the ropes. With still well over a minute to go in round 1 of this heavyweight 4-rounder. Nick Charles, Rich Murata, and Gennaro Hernandez ringside with you in Anaheim, California.
That right hand must have stung him. Diaz right here because he got
Here it
hurt.
comes. Diaz not holding on. He's in trouble now, and Ruiz pushes him off. Now they're center of the ring, and Diaz looks like he could be ready to go. One more clean shot. Now Diaz will hold on, and Ruiz will break him up.
Stop. Break.
I really like the way the Ruiz goes after guys.
I like his technique. He's very technical. I mean, he doesn't drop his hands like a lot of heavyweights do. You know, he's up there with his guard up, and he counters very well.
Another impressive round for Andy Ruiz in the black and gold, but it looks like Francisco Diaz will make it out of the first one. Not so fast.
He does have to beat this count.
And he looks like he's still hurt right now.
Palomino doing color with me. I'm the Colonel Bob Sherwood. Now, principal's in there, and the black and white trunks is Matthew Greer, great big fellow at 240 pounds, and Andy Ruiz, who's in at 246, a guy that used to weigh over 300 pounds. He looks heavy, and I'll tell you one thing, he's heavy-handed, but he's in the best shape he's been in. His last fight, which was in December, he was 256. He's dropped another 10 pounds, and he's going to keep coming down. But this guy can bang, let me tell you something. Big Jeff Grimoge who works with him. Ruiz had a big amateur career. Don't be fooled by his body type. This guy is a very powerful professional fighter. Again, he weighed well over 300 pounds at one time. The amateur career had 105 wins, many titles. Mexican junior national champion in 07 and 08, a Mexican national champion. Turned pro in March of 09 with a first-round knockout over Miguel Ramos in a fight I called down in Tijuana. And this guy can hit. He knocked out 6 of his first 8 pro opponents. Chopping in these already, Carlos. He's got Greer down in the first round here with a left hook and then a right hand chopping to his ear.
Yeah, I mean, he's very explosive. He has very, very quick hands for that body size. As you mentioned, he doesn't look like he'd be that quick, but he's got very fast hands, and he's got all the tools.
This guy is no butterbean type of fighter. So, again, this guy's an athlete. Don't be fooled by his body style. This is a guy that's trained down to this size, and he can bang. He's a very, very good athlete, a better athlete than perhaps what his body looks like. And he hits so hard, he may be able to contend someday in the heavyweight division if he keeps fighting the way he's going. Again, he's 17-0 with 11 knockouts. He's short as the big heavyweights go. He's only 6'2", but he can really bang, and Greer's finding that out right away. A big body shot, and Greer touched the knee, so he's going to have to take this standing 8 count. It's up to 5 now already, as Jack Reeves will give him the 8 count, I should say. Greer's a very tough guy, but he's been stopped in 3 of his last 4 times out. And Jack Reeves right now is telling me, hey, you better give a better effort, because with just under a minute to go, Andy Ruiz could take him right out right now. See, this guy's looking ready to go if he goes down another time.
Oh, he's covering out. Those body shots are hurting.
Big stiff jab. As I said, folks, Andy Ruiz is an athlete, and he will hurt you. And he's certainly hurting Big Greer. Matthew Greer needs to tie him up because his corner's yelling into him to tie him up. Taking uppercut shots. That time he fell down. That's he tripped over his feet, but Ruiz continues to keep pressure on him. Greg Cummings yelling from the corner, tie this guy up, don't let him bang away at you. But you can't walk into the kill zone with your head down and your gloves beside your head, because, oh, there's a right hand down. And that's it, the 3rd knockdown, and the referee says that's it.